Welcome. It has been a long time. Not like symbolically, it's been like 3 days. But I mean, what we're doing, it has been a long time coming and a long time since we did it last. Today, I am pleased to announce the triumphant return of the one and only Factorio series I've ever done on this stream. Factorio beltless and maybe pipeless. We are restarting it to solidify the rules up front a bit more, and for other reasons, which I'll get to. Let's show the game because we also have place.exe running right now. There we go. There's the game. There's the good old game activity. So, about a year ago, I started playing Factorio because it's a good game. Partway through, we decided that, hey, instead of using transport belts for everything, why don't we just use inserters? Because for exactly one purpose at the early part of the game, it was technically more cost effective. And we decided to just roll with it. Eventually, we also decided to not use any pipes, as well as any chests, and we built a monstrosity of a factory that never actually beat the game. I kept restarting everything, and it was an absolute pain. Why am I restarting now? Well, the honest true reason is because back then I didn't realize I had to save the recordings of the stream in order to keep them preserved forever. So we've lost most of the footage from the old series. Except for like the first few episodes, which weren't even the fun part. So I decided I'm going to take this opportunity to start again. New, fresh start. Make sure we actually record everything this time. That'd be good. So, ground rules. How's this going to work? Well, the basic gist is simple. We are going to be beating the game using as few conveyor belts, pipes, and chests as possible. From what I've understood so far from the last run, I've learned a few things on what is and is not required. Transport belts are not required. You can do everything they can do with inserters and fancy shenanigans. Chests are not required. They're just, buffers. You can just put something in an arm or just have a giant chain of inserters to use as a buffer anyway. They're just storage. We can work around that with other things, particularly cargo wagons. Pipes. There is exactly two circumstances where pipes are required. They are the water pump that pumps water from the water into your steam engines to get power, or just water in general. That is a necessary, offshore pump. Technically might be considered a pipe because it inputs to pipe stuff, but we're just going to say it doesn't count as a pipe. The other one, which is a bit more ambiguous, is oil processing. Due to the way that the science and the material requirements we have work, we need advanced oil processing. The problem is not that we can't put those into barrels and then move them around with arms. The problem is that the oil rig, the refinery, is too small. The outputs are all too close together. There is not enough room to put 3 barrel-filling assembly machines. So you need something to, bridge the gap. And so, in order to allow this, I am permitting myself to use 2 electric pumps per oil rig to be able to fit the 3rd assembly machine to make barrels. This is just an unavoidable requirement of how, the spacing works on this. I'm using electric pumps because they are not technically called pipes. They cost electricity, and they are confined to moving liquids in a single direction, much like how inserters are not transport belts, cost electricity, and can only move an object in a single direction. They are a similar type of constraint compared to like the transport belt to inserter comparison. So in the case of the oil rigs, I'm going to use electric pumps just to add spacing for the assembly machines. None of that's going to be relevant for this stream or like a few streams from now, but I want to establish the ground rules in this sort of episode 0-1 scenario. Now that that's done, we've established the ground rules, and victory condition is, of course, launching a rocket and then playing onwards because it's fun. Let's create a new world. World parameters will be absolute default. I'm just going to generate a new world, and we're going to live with it. Default, resources all in the middle. Enemies normal, terrain normal, advanced, not messing with it. Just complete baseline experience. Let no one say I am tweaking this into my advantage. Let's begin. Welcome. Okay. New tips, pole dragging coverage. Oh wow, that's new. They've updated pole dragging so that it actually works well. Great to know. I haven't played this game in a while, honestly. Last time I played it was on stream. That's sort of the trap with streaming a game. You feel like now that it's a thing you can provide to the public, you feel like you are obligated to provide it to the public every time you play. Anyway, our ship crashed and exploded. Let's get some bullets. Salvage some parts. So, what is our circumstance here? Copper, coal, and stone are all right next to each other. This is good early game, minus the fact that iron's a bit of a walk away, as is water. There's a giant lake to our left, west, which is also good. Biters down here, biters up here. We're going to use the south iron, and we're just going to have to kill the biters quickly. No real easy way to do that immediately, though, so we're going to have to be careful. Let's start somewhere. Resource number 1 to acquire, iron. Fuel that with the single piece of wood we have, and get some stone from this conveniently placed huge rock. Things are going to be very manual to start off. Partially because that's just how Factorio goes, and partially because we don't have any chests to work with. So priority 1, get iron, build 2 more burner mining drills, put them on coal facing each other, we have infinite coal. 1 more. Run over to that coal, put it down. I'm actually going to prioritize destroying this biter nest down here simply because it's far too close for comfort. Normally I would leave the biters alone, but they are prohibitively close. So you have that, you'll put your coal in there, it's now powering this one, which is going to power that one, and we're going to get infinite coal. Our fuel supply has been established. So instead of doing any other major manufacturing for right now, my priority craft is going to be more bullets. Maybe. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I've got like 10 bullets to start with. I should be good. Will it be good? I don't know. Now we'll automate the copper. Some in there. Put some in there. I don't know why I put stone in there. Free brick. This is a very dangerous circumstance. We need at least an SMG to sort of combat biters early on if we're going on the offensive. If we're going on the defensive, we're fine. But this is mighty close for defensive. Also, as just a casual reminder for anyone who's here for the first time, the channel point rewards are available. If you see those, like that giant grid of random pixels on the top, you can modify what those pixels are using the 3 channel points that have weird names in all caps. Hopefully their description gives you a good enough idea of what the heck they actually do, so that I don't have to give a long and arduous explanation of it. So I guess priority is going to be military research. We need 10 red science, and we'll get ourselves some proper weaponry. One of those. And we're going to need 20 iron, 10 copper. The classic early game Factorio experience. Running back and forth between a bunch of locations, picking up materials as they're built. Oh, of course, we're also going to need electricity. I did not think of this. That complicates things. Well, not really. We just put the research facility here and go from there. So, we're saying offshore pump does not count, which is good because we absolutely need it. It is required. Boilers and steam engines also don't count. Not everything that takes a pipe input counts. Just pipes don't count. They're too easy. Allegedly. Okay, as long as there's 20 in there, we will be good. There was 18 in there. Come on. Build all those. Then we need at least 1 boiler and 1 steam engine. So we need a grand total of 35 iron. We're going to be sitting here for a while. At the very least, the coal supply seems to be going fine. We're not going to be breaking any world record speedrun categories with this. I just want to have a simple, clean experience just doing this challenge. I'm also not like a master Factorio player. I just enjoy it a lot. Let's go break some more rocks. I learned a lot from the previous season that now I guess canonically is no longer exists. Trains and cargo wagons are vital. They are the only way we can store items in bulk and transport them in any reasonable amount of efficiency. A giant chain of inserters is good for, you know, a small amount of resources, but if we want to do anything at scale, we need cargo wagons, and we need cargo wagons to basically be our transport mechanism. How's the pollution looking? Oh, we are already aggroing them. That is terrifying. Alright, that's 35. 1, 1. Of course, electric pole. I heard biter. Why did I just hear biter? Oop. Maybe I should intentionally go to the biter nest now, thin out a bit of the crowd just to save on danger later. I don't know. This is what happens when I play Factorio. I have way too many thoughts and ideas, and I cannot decide what to do. It's part of the reason I procrastinated on restarting this series so long. Oh, great. Well, there goes our coal. And just in time for us to run out on the copper. Fortunately, we have enough to replace. Alright, let no one argue that we don't have enough copper right now. Dark. This is a terrible start. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I am indeed getting murderized. Also, hello. Things have gone very poorly. Like, surprisingly bad. Where's my corpse? There's my corpse. Give me my corpse stuff back. I am 3% away from military science. That could not have gone worse. Or at least it could not have gone any more hubrisly. I feel very hubrised right now. Hold on. I get the lab. I have... Need wood. Electrical. Alright, you stay at it, I guess. Put these back down. They're not going to aggro until they actually get here. I should also clarify what I mean by not using the transport belts and stuff. Using them in crafting recipes is fine and also mandatory. I mean, like, placing them down. I'm not going to place any conveyor belts down or anything. Or at least avoid doing so as best as I can. I might do so accidentally, in which case I don't know what we'll do. I'll just try not to. That'll be good enough, right? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Anyway, put that down. Build one automation science pack. Put it in the machine. There we go. Now we can build good gun. I'm picking up all the electricity. It's safer on my corpse than out in the open. Now we just need a lot of iron, make a submachine gun, go murdering. Easy. Perfect. Hey, Lark, I know you were here for the place.exe before. It is open and available to use, just letting you know. Those pixels on the top of the screen aren't just for decoration. Well, they are for decoration, but they're for interactive decoration. Much better. Not enough ammo. What would get us more ammo? Well, we could get more damage, but it doesn't really count. I suppose we just stock up on iron. Just make a lot of bullet. I see you have injected a data. You have invaded green territory there. That's gonna have some repercussions. You put it back. Look, I don't have to worry about that. This is all on you. Alright, I should really work on more automation stuff. I'm going to try and rebuild the coal and just defend it. Oh, here's a bit of news for the greater TV community. Quint has finished their movie and can now properly exist in streams and stuff. So Quint streams can return. And so I'm teaching Quint how to have the place thing available to use for the Quint streams. So that'll be exciting. You can use you can do the channel point stuff in places other than my streams. Now, Quint's a lot more focused on the channel point things in general as just like a way to garner interest and community interaction. I just did it because I made a cool program and wanted people to see it. I'm more about like the highlights and the sort of after the fact videos on stuff. That's sort of my that's my business contribution, or at least my advocacy. Fair enough. The thing does need a better user interface. I just went with the dead simplest one that I could think of for only being able to input into the chat. Because I'm kind of restricted on where when you're redeeming the channel points and the program reads in the data, all you're getting as far as personalized information is the chat message that comes with it. So I have to interpret it out of that. Originally, back when it was supposed to be like a donation thing, the horizontal axis would be the number of bits that you donated or whatever, and then the vertical axis, you'd probably get the entire column, just like 3 colors of your choice in order, top to bottom or something. I could do that with channel points, but that means I would have to have one channel redemption for every single square every pixel in that grid. And there's 120 pixels in that grid. And I think that would be, like, still a worse, like, user experience. Man, I can make 40 stone furnaces. I don't even know what to do with that many stone furnaces. Okay, here's the plan. I keep having plans. I'm gonna mass produce iron to mass produce bullets to mass unproduce that base to the southwest. Are you out of... You're not out of coal, you're out of iron. Okay. Cool. Bonk, bonk. Bonk. This has been a very interesting start. I never usually have to deal with biters so early because I'm always so just like low scale on production at the start. But these biters are so close that I have to acknowledge their threat immediately. I think I see what you're up to. I don't think 15 is enough. Alright, I think I'm seeing, like, the snowball of manufacturing start to properly flow. The factory is growing now. The reason I made the place interface so dead simple is because I didn't want to accidentally have people make a redemption that accidentally doesn't work, because I don't really have a way to know if a channel point redemption has not succeeded. So I just wanted to make like absolute sure that if you redeemed and still bungled the input, you would still get something on the grid. 21 bullet. 21 bullets seems like a good amount of bullet. I think now we can start being offensive. Congratulations, you wrote high in purple. So proud of you. Wow, that took a lot of bullets. Don't have enough. Fall back. Good progress, sir. We took down one base. Well, one spawner in a base. You want control over the grid? You gotta pay up. You can't just sit there and just like, I'm gonna paint the grid whatever I want. It's gonna cost you. That's why I made randomization cheaper. So there's like a back and forth. You want to roll the dice and hope you just get like a good pixel? It's on you. You gotta commit if you want your signal to outstrength your noise. 24 more bullets right off the bat. Let's do that. Let's have that be what's happening. This'll work. There we go. Dead. Phew, finally. Now we can start finally having some permanent infrastructure. Or just permanent structure. And with plenty of iron to work with. Starting off, let's get the electricity operational again so we can start doing more research. Not much in the way of research to spend, but... Let's get 10 research automation. It's always good to start somewhere. Outside of that, let's build more burner mining drills to get more coal. After they're done building, apparently. Didn't think that through. You gonna slow down? You gotta get up to temperature first, right? There you go. You done? I'm gonna start having to care about copper. So let's rebuild the copper mine. Definitely don't have enough iron to keep up all 4 of these running. Well, 182 iron can pay for a lot. What is even what we care about right now? Well, it'll give us long-handed inserters. That's objectively beneficial to us. We need those. Good. Now what? Turrets will give us stationary defenses, which is good because we have to keep walking around and leaving things exposed. Green science is just progress towards the rest of the game. Logistics is useless, but it gets us closer to trains. But so does steel and green science. Congratulations on being bankrupt. Well, we have inserters. We can start moving things around. One electric mining drill. Bunch of electric poles. We'll start by allowing the steam engine to fuel itself. And here is where it all begins. Here we go. I am pleased to present this game's first giant inserter line. What shall be the first of many. Gotta line this up good. Good enough. Every ounce of automation will be earned through sheer brute force and grit and all that other good stuff. And here we see a classic problem where the spacing of things is vital to get right. 4 more. Now we just need the power. And there we have it. The arms of production whirring to life. Absolutely beautiful. Very pleased. We now have our very first bit of automation. Well, very first bit of unchaperoned automation. For being specific. Plenty of iron. So then what's next for us? With this giant line of electric poles, we can move the science closer to the copper, which will be of benefit to just our research and development. Probably need more poles. Assembly machines are available. We're going to need 2. So, if I'm thinking this through correctly, it should be a simple matter of 1 assembly there, 1 assembly here, the science, and then fill in the rest with some inserters. Now all that leaves is getting some iron to go over here. Oh, no, wait, I almost forgot. We want electric mining drills for the copper now. There we are. I probably want another boiler as well, just to get the most out of the available power. I'm trying to remember how I circumvented the fact that I need to gap the engines in order to put more. Maybe I just put an empty maybe I just put an empty boiler in between them. That'd be smart of me. You will make red science. You will make iron gears. We now need to move the iron to there. That's going to require many more electric poles and a whole lot of inserters. It begins. Interesting start in that we don't really have a lot of tree to work with. Electric poles are going to be a long-term pain. Perhaps we want to quickly go to steel electric poles, but they cost green science, so we can't really rush to that, given our circumstances. I'll just collect a lot of wood in preparation. Can I reach that? It's right there. It seems unfair to say it's far away. Then again, I do have to hit it with an axe. It may technically be considered a melee attack. Actually, hold up. Not really what I intended to do. I wanted to not have the gun equipped. Okay, interesting. You cannot melee attack trees, but you can shoot them. Weird. Forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah. A lot of inserters. Is it more cost-effective to use long-handed inserters? Because they go twice the distance at the cost of 1 extra iron plate and 1 extra iron gear. Whereas a single inserter requires an iron plate, iron gear, and an electronic circuit. So I think per distance traveled, long-handed inserters are more cost-effective. So I'll make a lot of those to bridge this gap. The downside, of course, is that they have a harder time dealing with, you know, tight locations where you need to turn well. Less precise, I guess. That said, maybe I should swap out the inserters I have here. Well, maybe there's a power consumption. Max consumption 20 kilowatts. Max consumption 13 kilowatt. No, they're actually more energy efficient too. Maybe I should swap out the these. Alright, this is opening up some energy propagation issues, so I'll stop modifying it here. Let's just get those inserters. Well, let's just get that iron. I don't have to care nearly as much about the distance. So what if I... Actually, I want to change something in the settings. Show inserter arrows in alt mode. This will make it easier for me to line these up. And considering our primary resource here is inserters for transportation, this is of vital importance. Also of vital importance is making sure we're actually in the right location. Oh. More. I'm going up and then left for a very specific reason. I want to use the storage available in the crashed spaceship in the future. So I'm going to, like, once we need, like, major production, I'm going to redirect a lot of the inserters towards the spaceship and use that as our manufacturing heartland. At least to start off. The fact that it works as a makeshift chest for storing bulk materials is very convenient when we don't actually allow ourselves to use chests in the first place. Perfect. Oh. Accidentally built some pipes. I'm going to destroy them by building a boiler so that they're not in my inventory so I don't accidentally use them. What I actually wanted was to build the electric poles. Alright, let's begin. This automatic spacing is very useful. I wish I had this in the original series. So here's the idea. Oops, I accidentally missed a step. I wanted boilers over here. And I wanted the boilers over here because then I don't have to haul the coal all the way down. Now to do a research. And gun turrets will be helpful. As much as you want to sort of imagine to yourself that you're going to be safe and fine, you want to take the proper precautions because you don't know if that's true. I think it was a good play to have the boilers over here. Because now I can theoretically automate that. The science. .5 seconds. These take 10 seconds to burn through, so we should be crafting faster than we're consuming, I think. It almost seems like we're dead even. Oh, right, because these have a crafting speed of 0.5. These are taking 11 seconds instead. Right, right, right. Hey, gun turret. Excellent. Various applications of visible light. It gives us lasers and solar panels, and we may as well. At the current time, I'm more concerned with our long-term automation of stuff. I like what I've done here with the electric mining drills being sort of daisy-chained together to bring the ore over instead of the plates. I didn't do this last time in the last series. I believe this is objectively an improvement. And I can use the lights to light up the place, make it easier to see on the stream and in general. I can see it fine, but I assume it's not the most enjoyable of a viewing experience. Let's also cater to our defenses. Get some armor, make some more bullets. Taking care of ourselves. Things are looking good. Let's start managing the hotbar. There's optics. See, stone wall. Decent structure. Not much use for us right now. Logistics gives us so many things that we wish we had. It just makes me sad. I think the biggest detriment to doing inserters only is the loss of underground belt and the loss of splitters. Especially the loss of underground belts. Because we learned that there are only really 4 channels that inserters can sort of operate on. And if you try and weave more inserters than that, like 4 channels of material over a line, you can't do it. You literally run out of area. So like I can put an inserter here, 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 and here, and they won't interfere with each other, but they'll get in each other's way eventually. Like a 2x2 grid of inserters is the best you can do, and that's with long-handed. And since there's no handed longer than long-handed, it is the best you can do, period. So like these 4 inserters will not interfere with each other. Any more anywhere is just going to be in this line. You can't jump over each other. So it's like this one, it goes 2 forward, then it can go 2 up and can turn this way, while this one goes 2 forward and 2 forward and can go that way. But you can only have 4 lines, if that makes sense. So once you reach that limit, you got to be real careful about where your production is. You suddenly have to care about two-dimensional maneuvering of your materials, knowing they can't go around something or through it. Hard to explain in my brain with English words. I understand what I mean, though, and that's why I'm scared. Truly, our first goal is railway. Railway will be a big benefit to us. Not only because we get trains, but because we get cargo wagons, which we can use in place of chests and can start making bulk production of things. We can start modularizing. Let's start putting down the lights. Prioritizing lights in locations where we are actually building things instead of just the inserter arm chains, because we know what they look like. Gonna preempt the problem here. Move the electric pulse to that side. That way we can double boiler without any problems. In fact, why wait? This will be plenty for a while. Now what? Electronics walls give us walls, electronics gives us nothing. This gives us steel plate for reasons. This gives us green science. This gives us better bullet. This gives us better bullet. Did you just data inject while just typing a normal message? I don't think your message even had a number in it, which suggests to me that you just spent 64 channel points doing nothing. Be careful about that. The program isn't smart enough to account for that. I just don't want people filing complaints in the future. Let's get steel. It's towards steel axe, which is an objective upgrade. let's start working on the ultimate science production for red and green. It's going to be a similar system to the one I had before with using the that spaceship. Maybe it should default to the burst noise behavior if it doesn't pass the regex check. That is an excellent idea. That is an excellent, excellent idea. It's the ultimate in consolation prize. That is smart. I will put that in the newest version after this stream. Actually, you know what? I could technically do it now. I don't know if it's worth it, but I technically have that power. See your burst noise data injection. Cutoff order search. If cutoff is -1. Yeah, okay, here I am actually just fixing it live. Not long. Okay. Now, kill this. Save. Run now. Accessing online. Alright, I'm going to test it. Data injection. Took. I think I broke it. Hold on, I can still fix this. Ah, jeez. Okay, right. I have to. Oh no, this is when it finds nothing. When it's searching for the. It's searching for a letter. Okay, no. I got check. Turn. So, if all right, this'll work. Data injection failure, reverting to the reverse noise. Excellent, it worked. I didn't actually see it happen, so I don't know what pixel changed. I should probably log that, but whatever. Anyway, how's the factory going? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, nice. That explains why it suddenly started looking like a T. That's lucky. Alright, here's the plan. I'm going to build a bunch of mining drills. And by a bunch, I guess I mean 4. So my intention is to make some copper, make some iron, have it all funnel towards the center here, smelt it on site, sort of next to each other, and then forward it all to the relevant machines to start making the green science. I know we haven't researched green science, but we will eventually have researched green science. So I'm going to allocate 2 for the copper, because we don't need much copper to start with. And then the other 2 for the iron to have like a 4-2 split. Cool. Let's hope the throughput's enough on that. Processing finished. Nice. Let's get that green. We could quickly get steel out. Now let's go for green science. Well, indecision. Go for green science. Oh, you know what? If I travel via over here. Then I put down 1 yellow inserter, which I acquire by replacing this one with these 2. Sorry, I said that backwards. Then these will both be perfectly aligned, and I can use them both for, well, 1 for positional reference, and the electric poles don't have to be doubled up. And light that up too. Hope you like that little bit of live bug fixing. Turns out it's a lot easier to modify a JS program that you're just running in a terminal compared to an entire C++ program that like does renderers and shaders and things. Now I see why people just make their websites and like with JSON shenanigans. I do not need to worry about this. I can focus on full production of the new zone. Okay, I'm going to build a minor smelting array in this area, which will then prepare the plates and stuff for integration. Am I perfectly in line with their... I am. They are. Their QPUs are aligned. Before I forget, I also want to have a coal supply to fuel those furnaces. That will be tricky. In order to do this, I need to ensure that the inserters are misaligned. And I will guarantee that by simply moving it up one. Up one. Great, now we're certain. I guess, relativistically speaking, I want it to be one down. Or, again, the convenience of using the pre-existing power poles. I'm going to disassemble this. Move it downwards. That'll work. You make the gear. You make the red science. You process the science. One electric pole here. Powers everything. Proceed. Oh, wait, no. I do need another electric power pole. In, out. Keep building this line. Move the light. Why aren't you proceeding? I have never powered the bottom. The moment Logistics Science Pack finishes, we're going to build the grand machine, I think. No reason not to. We have everything we need. Considering I built the grand machine using the spaceship last time, I could probably copy-paste the original design. But it shouldn't be that hard to spaghetti together something again. Oh, this is probably too far, actually, for the copper. Stop it there. Then we'll have the smelting lines going up. It'll be great. Put that in there. You outpace the smelter, so I don't actually have the ability to drop the copper ore I have. So a word on the plan. I can start building the iron side of it immediately. I just pipe off the iron here. That'll be 2 up. Straight into the 2 slots of the furnace. The downside of this approach is that the furnaces will, by necessity, be very far away from each other. Is it actually necessary, though? 1, 2... 1 inserter in. 1 inserter in. What if it's here? I need to experiment. So, 1 long-handed inserts. Then I can go inserter in, up, in. And then this one will just be... No, that doesn't work. Because they have to move in increments of 4. If they move in increments of 2, they're going to get in each other's way. So yeah, this is going to be awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, 1, 2, 3. Four, 5. While they're dealing with that, I'll put some power down. So that is technically operational. I'm going to turn it off just because I still got to finish logistics science packs real quick. Though it shouldn't take much. Alright, we're reaching the throughput capacity of inserters, which is silly to think about. But that doesn't stop it from being an absolutely real thing we need to consider. That'll speed things up. Lovely. We need a little bit of a buffer science, if only because we aren't going to be able to make green science just yet. So let's get the steel axe. No, let's get the wall. How's pollution? It's going big, and it's going into places I can't see. We may need to start investing in turrets. I'll just cram it all in there now. There. That's that done. Now the question, how close do we want these to each other? We have the opportunity to do something we never really had the ability to do before, and that's to weave the materials close together. We could very much do something like this. And I think it's interesting enough to do just by its own merit. Oop. Here's how this is gonna go. Up. Up, up. Up, up. Up, up. Then we have our in. And then we have our power. We have just inserter weaved a smelting array that builds both iron and copper. In my opinion, that's pretty cool. Okay, well, that's a problem. Also, we can't set the... We can't filter in the starship. So we're gonna have to improvise. Have I made a mistake? Why haven't you outputted? Oh, because you haven't inputted. Because you're empty. Because all the ore is being taken by the other one. Good to know. Now we need to split. Gonna need more shorthanded. Now we are in the deep, sort of contemplative, how the heck are we going to make this work phase. Oh, hey, wall's done. Priority, go towards railway. Railway requires logistics 2 and engine. Engine requires nothing left in red. Let's get electronics, because solar panel, I guess? Oh, because also the electric poles that don't require wood. We got plenty of reasons. I'm starting to think it was a mistake to use the spaceship, because we can only use it for one of them, and we've aligned it incorrectly to use the one I want. But hold on. Changing the alignment should be a simple matter of, well, changing the alignment. The red inserters don't have to change, it's just the yellows. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, up. Alright, good, it's resolved itself. Then, this will go into the spaceship, this won't. We then turn from here, and now we have red on its own merry way, and we have red. Now we have copper on its own merry way, and we have steel in the ship. Now we just need to design a giant collection of assembly machines that will eventually give us green science as an output. And red science. Don't forget the red science. So just a reminder to myself, what do we need for green science? Transport belt and inserter. Transport belt is iron and gear. Inserter is iron, gear, and electronic circuit. Gear is iron. Electronic circuit is iron and copper cable. Copper cable is copper plate. Which means that 100% of the copper we're using for this is going to go into copper plate. It is not used in any other way. So I will just allocate 2. Making cable. The advantage of the spaceship is I can now branch iron to where I need it. So, let's have a small section here dedicated to bringing all of the cable in a line. Not enough power. I'm out of poles. Then here, up. Then we will have assembling machine here for the electric circuits. 2. Long-handeds go here. Long-handed goes here for the... Am I interpreting this right? No, because they're aligned vertically, not horizontally. Okay, that's on me. Fix it by moving this iron here. Power here. Good. You have the electronic circuit. We now have them. Now all we need is iron, gear, the assembly for the two, for the transport belt and the inserter, and then the science. I'm already liking what I've done here a bit better because I've made this semi-modular. In fact, if I want to make this slightly more modular, I should set these up horizontal like this. That. There's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. And there's that. You're not powered. Okay, good. Now, that assembly line is going to the right. It can expand as arbitrarily as it wants, as can the copper wire. Then it can come back this way. Gears are a non-issue, effectively. By comparison. We want effectively, we want the iron line to go out just on its merry way. I keep using that phrase. While the gears are built and just sort of shunted in sideways. I'm just making two of everything to prove that it's tileable. I'm not going with, like, ratios or anything. So now we have plate and gear. Then, on the other side, we have electric circuit. Then, we want, arbitrarily somewhere, like right here, the inserters. And on the opposite side, the transport belt. Because this is a double long situation, we need to bring these more forward. Not by much. This will be the transport belt. The only important thing here is that I don't mess up the synchronization with the electric circuits. As long as I keep that proper, should work. After all, we're staying under our required amount of 4 items per. What am I looking for? A few shorthandeds. You will build the inserters. So to ensure that they're going to be aligned properly, I'm going to put down you here. And this will be the electronic circuit line. And that works. So we've made a little L here of the 3 materials we need. Now, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It works. Now we can recombine. And we can be a bit more haphazard with this, because it's only 2 of them. Wait, why am I building them? I just made a machine that builds them. Give me that. Oop. Oop. They would overlap if I continued like this. Alright, in that case, I'll align it to the center. It's just easier to think this way. So then, up. Then, the simple assembly machine for the green science. I totally forgot that I need to build red science too. Oh. Ooh. Well, that's embarrassing. But not that hard to solve. It's just copper and gear. We have copper down here. We can pipe that up. We have gear down here. We can just shunt that over. It's workable. More assembly machines too. As far as the copper, we could go left, around, and up. That would... Conceptually, this has to get in the way of something. But we're not really starved on throughput. We could just do it. We could just claim, it's good enough as far as, like, throughput unlimited nonsense goes, and just leave it at that. Doesn't have to be extendable forever. It just has to be extendable for enough. The gears are an easy fix. I longhand this way. Oh, hold on. If I make sure that the copper is Oh, well, it might... I can't really change the alignment of the copper now. Too late into the progress. But if it's already aligned, or misaligned, I could just cut through here. And just say, hey, I refrain from building that deep into the system, and we're good. Unfortunately, they're aligned with each other. That's workable, though. I'm not getting past the inserters, so. I'm not going to worry about tileability. I don't care. We won't need much more than this before we have better technology. Still want to make the red signs tileable at the very least. That is seemingly important. How? I think I know how. We'll split it so that the inputs are on opposite sides. That way I can create the misalignment via the output. Oh, right. Recipe. Now we don't even have to care about alignments at all. We just shunt it into the science facility. Let's put it in the lab. Where is the lab, by the way? Don't need any of this. Thank you very much. One, two, three when it's done being built. Excellent. Red and green signs are now being built in a much nicer and tileable setup compared to the one I made last time. This is very much an improvement. It's a loss in space efficiency, but it's a gain in actual throughput and tidiness. I can actually build more of the resources I need, and worst case scenario, if I need to build more assembly or inserters, I'll just push these long-handed back further or something. I don't know. Actually, I only need to do it for the copper, and the copper is okay. It still has the alignment problem. I'll think of something. We'll figure it out. We're smart people. What is stopping forward progress from happening? Forward progress is being stifled by a lack of an ability to measure the distances between stuff. I'm only using one of the red sciences. Electronics, however, is done. Let us... Okay, no. Full priority. Trains. Beautiful machine. While all this is happening, let's focus on another matter. Okay, well, first off, other matter. Let's light this place up. Make it easier to see in. I think in between the lights, or in between the assembly machines, is probably the best way of marking them. Excellent. The lights are good. All right. How long was I muted? I keep doing that. I think it's one of my greatest weaknesses as in streaming. I just keep forgetting whether or not I'm muted at any given time. Gotta make a better habit of checking. Power output. We're using about half the electricity. It'll hold, but not forever. I don't really know what to do now. We're just kind of chilling until the research we get gives us something that can improve on what we have so far. We could put fast inserters everywhere we have regular inserters. That would technically speed up some of the facility. But to be honest, the only like major groundbreaking technological achievement we're looking for is cargo wagons. I guess we could up the throughput of our science by building more labs and more assembly machines for the science. May as well. There we are. That's more science. Now we put down the more lab. It might be more effective to put long-handed inserters between these, if only because they're faster. Yeah, how does it feel now that there's an economy involved? You gotta either team up with other people to get what you want, or you just gotta be real patient. Whoa! Hostile out of nowhere. Lucky I caught that. There's enemies to the north. How's the pollution? Okay, yep. That explains it. $30 seconds per each. 30 seconds per each. One like equals one pog. Oh no, this really mamas my mias. Oh, that's one. 100. Let's get bullet damage. I'm altering the research. No, I'm changing the research again. I'm getting fast inserters. I want to get fast inserters because I want to get stack inserters. Because getting stack inserters gives you an automatic... Oh, never mind. Wait. Okay, getting getting inserter capacity bonus 2 gives your non-stack inserters additional capacity, which is an objective buff to everything we've already placed down, allowing us for double our current throughput. which does seem to be our limiting factor, at least in terms of iron. We are using more than we're spending. And I just stole a whole bunch of iron to make more bullets. Honestly, just by sheer number of bullets, just should be enough to take the base. So I will. Hey, we won. I suppose I would like some intel on the world surrounding us. I'm gonna build some radar. Wait, we have engine tech. Can I build a car now? Or is that like a separate thing? It's a separate thing. Darn it. I'm so indecisive with my technology choice. I'm gonna stick with the logistics too. I'm going back to logistics too. I want trains. I want cargo wagon. I want rail. The inserters down here are at full tilt, suggesting to me that this is not enough throughput to keep up. Which brings me back to me wanting the stack size bonus, but the stack size bonus is so far away, and trains are not. I mean, everything's so far away at this point, but you know, the trains, they're closer than ever before. So far, so good, though, all things considered. So aside from getting the research, getting logistics 2, getting trains, what can we improve on? We could build separate facilities to make other materials that we need. Start the production of some kind of mall or mall equivalent. We could do some scouting. Let's do some scouting. Information's always helpful, and it could be scary, which might also be helpful. This lake is not the dimensions I was hoping it would be. A very small lake. I mean, it's a large lake, but it's smaller than what I was hoping for. There's spiders over there. How's the pollution? Hasn't reached them. Good to know. Our factory's a little stagnant right now, which means that the pollution cloud currently present is probably a good representation of what the pollution cloud will be for a while. Meaning if there's no biters in the cloud, we are good. So let's focus on just finding out where that pollution cloud is. Make sure we see all the terrain that is within the purview of the cloud. More stone up here. We're going to have to start mining stone in bulk once we start building rails and stuff. As well as for its myriad of applications in warfare and heavy industry. My typical military defensive strategy is to find all the big lakes around and then build walls in between them, having like tiny choke points that I can defend instead of having to defend an entire perimeter around me. So I very much care about the ocean structure around here. This is a large body of water. I think we can get a lot of use out of this. There are biters to my left? Yeah. Good to know. Let's start walking back towards the actual pollution cloud. Arguably what we're supposed to be looking out for here. A nice, relaxing, friendly walk. Here's another body of water. Alright, this does mark the bottom edge of the lake. Unless it awkwardly goes at a very thin diagonal river for a while, but I don't think so. Oh, hold on. There's some applicable here. Very tiny choke point right here. Connecting this lake to the next. Ooh, hold on. Okay. This is some interesting terrain. I actually like this very much. It's almost a peninsula. These two lakes are connected by just a very thin pair of openings here and here. Those could be easily defended. And then there's this reasonably sized opening here, which could be sort of like a second line. I like this. How deep does this second lake go? Very, as it turns out. That's the radar. What's it even blipping at this point? Yeah, I'll circle around this lake and then go back up. When the eventual highlights for this is made, this is going to be a very convenient part to just casually cut out. Just this long walk. Maybe I can feel a little less bad about, you know, quiet moments in streams if I can just sort of internalize it myself as, what happened? The factory stopped. The factory has stopped. Why has the factory stopped? The factory stopped because we didn't have enough coal. Hoping the problem was the throughput of the mining drill and not the inserters. If it's the inserters, we're doomed. If it's the mining drill, I can just make a second one, like I did just now. If this starts backing up, I think we're okay. Man, it's been out of commission for like 6 minutes. Actually, what's the this cutoff point is interesting to me. It suggests that things were like half dismantled. The lab's working, it's working, then this happens. Oh, I bet that's probably one of the steam engines failing. And then all the coal is going exclusively to the other one, which then proceeds in this brownout until it runs out of like coal itself, and then the entire factory dies. Interesting, interesting. Right, because with the way that inserter arm priority works, it would only go to one of these. It's not splitting it, it's just there's like an offshoot in the flow. Fascinating, fascinating. I'm fascinating by this. Thank goodness it's fixed, though. Energy production is going to be a problem, simply because it takes energy to bring stuff over. And it's hard to keep stable. I really want solar panels. I want a lot of things. I'm craving the progress of the future. But I need to get one thing at a time. How's the map doing? Alright, well, now that we have a moment, let's look at the map and see what we see. I'm really liking this sort of area down here. I can work with it. Awkwardly, we're kind of at like a... Like, yeah, we could secure it, but we'd only be able to secure one side of it, and then the other side we'd have to sort of abandon. This giant lake over here is excellent for the way I like to play. Especially with oil available nearby. If this lake is large and vaguely circular, it should be able to secure up to about here, and then maybe there's another lake up here if we're lucky. That way we could sort of have our bounds be like a wall here, maybe there's a bit of a wall here for that lake, Wall down here, wall over here, up to this big lake. And then we'll have this whole area secure for ourselves. And then we can get the big factory. Anyway, trains. That's what we're here for. Good stuff, good stuff. Iron production is lagging behind. And I don't think it's going to improve any for a while. One of the major advantages with the cargo wagon is that we can use them. It's a very expensive investment, but we can use them to arbitrarily change the misalignment of a chain of inserters whenever we want to. This will allow us to build sort of internal spaced junctions where the misalignment can change how we please. It can also allow us to bolster the throughput of basically anything. Alright, how's the systems? Radar... No, that's the lab. Lab died for a moment, probably due to lack of resources, or maybe I was swapping technology at that moment. Lamps have just powered on, but is not making a noticeable blip in the energy usage of the factory. Inserters have been fairly consistent. Long-handed inserters are, of course, our most expensive resource right now, just because we have so many. But ultimately, I'm satisfied. One stream in, we're already getting to train tech. And train tech is going to make all of this so much more flexible. We're going to have options. Oh, hey, Quint. Welcome. Admittedly, I did too for a bit. I got worried. Anyway, hey, Quint, welcome. I'm doing the Factorio thing again. Additional alsos. I don't think you've ever actually tried the place thing. Go ahead and try the place thing. You got channel points, probably, maybe. I don't know. Hey, railway's finished. That is very helpful. That is very important. Automated rail transportation is going to be our next big thing, because then we don't have to have these giant lines of inserters between assembly places. We just have them at assembly places in their own little nice little spaghetti. So I'll start that research. We can't really build trains because we don't have any steel production. I guess that's what I should fix. This I'll just do manually. Partially. I also need stone. I have stone. Oh, we're gonna need a lot more iron. Okay. Need power. All right, do we have enough to build our first cargo? Nope, 2 more steel and a lot more iron. Okay, got the steel, a lot more iron. Hold on, I need to recall something. The mining speed is 0.5 per second. So it's 1 item every 2 seconds. The smelter crafts well, all the ores, all the stone in the ores cost the same to take the same time to craft in the game. So it's a crafting speed of 1. Or iron plate, right? 3.2 seconds to craft. And these have a crafting speed of 5, so it takes 6.4 seconds to craft one of these in a stone furnace. The miners get 1 every 2 seconds, which means... what does this mean? Takes 2 seconds to get 1, so then it takes 6 seconds for one thing. So it should be a case of no, crafting speed is 1, so it's only 3.2 seconds, which means you need 1.5 stone furnace per mining drill. Okay, I'm running through the numbers. Why am I running through the numbers? Because I'm about to make a demonstration. First off, automated rail. Yay. Let's get rail signals just to put it all together. 1 cargo wagon. Okay, here's the demonstration. It takes 2 mining drills to fuel 3 regular furnaces. Electric mining drills, specifically. We have rails now. With 2 rails, we can fit 1 cargo wagon with absolute pixel precision. It cannot move, and it's perfectly aligned for all 6 inputs on the side, 2 inputs on the edges. Actually, 4 inputs on the edges for a regular inserter. For a long-handed inserter, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technically, but they're going to overlap with these inserters, so I don't think it works. Well, it's going to overlap the input. So you've got 4 inputs on the sides, 6 inputs on the edges. What does this give us? This gives us 1, 2, and it gives us 1, 2, 3. This is objectively an improvement. And I'll do it again. I'll show you the power of flex tape. I'm out of iron. No longer out of iron. With absolutely no additional electricity cost, we have upgraded our iron and steel production in this little area that I just built by 1.5. A factor of 1.5. Can I walk up here? I cannot walk up there. Well, actually, it's not with no electricity cost. There is an electricity cost. It's that these are now running full time. Dang it. I mean, like, electricity-wise, that shouldn't be much of a additional cost. As an added feature, I guess, you can funnel the ore between these two cargo wagons via putting inserters in between them. They can fit in this space. There's a 2x2 open area to put inserters underneath the cargo wagons. Downside of this is that you have to delete the entire dang cargo wagon in order to delete those inserters. Unless you use, like, grenades. I just want to demonstrate a little bit of technology before I wrapped it up. We are at 3 hours. Factorio flies when you're not having your brain fried. It's a good time. I'm going to go. Actually, you know what? Let's have the relaxing sounds of the factory play us out. I'm going to go, though. This was a good time. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be doing Factorio again. It's a good game. It's an enjoyable experience. I gotta think a lot, so it takes a lot out of me, but it's a good think. It's a good think. I'm thinking good. Disabling the rewards, so don't try and redeem them again. You will simply waste them. Okay. I'm gonna go. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being. Thanks for existing. It's helpful. It's enjoyable. Pleasant. I'm gonna go. Tune in for more of this, more not this, more me, more not me. Quint is finished with the movie and can now stream once more, though still in Germany. We only got a few more months left before Quint returns, and then we'll be back to full strength. For now, I'm going to go. I'm Exception. This is NTV. Have a good day, and good night.